What's up, traders? This is Marco from King Street Capital, bringing you another Market Monday. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment if you have any insight, if you have any questions, and I would be happy to respond. Please share this video with your friends. That will give us a greater audience and in turn would help more people. All right, let's get right to it. We're starting off with the dollar index on the daily, first identifying our major levels. Let's start with 1.105, getting that to the number exactly. Our next level, we can use 1.02500. And we can see price has moved up, major push to the upside, giving us a slight flag pattern um, towards this level here. Can actually call it here. And with a flag, usually we would move up generally to reach equal highs or beyond. So that would be if this is a valid flag pattern moving all the way to the upside. However, we have seen a strong push back to the downside. This could also be calculated only if we put the fib tool. We can see that price has reached what I would call the sweet zone for further buy entries after that retest. So this level has been reached and price has really given us some movement towards the upside. Let's just remove that. Let me see, drawing the trend line. See how many parts can be touched here. Right, I think this would do it. Can really see touches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, broken out and broken out of the trend line, retested and given us a push to the upside. It broke our level of 105, and as we can see, it played around it. Resistance, broke out, retest, turned support, given us a further push to the downside to break this previous low, higher low. And we'll pick up two scenarios. Let's just go to the lower time frame. I think if I can add this one. Hmm, okay, let's put it like that for now. Let's go to the lower time frame. 4 hour time frame. All right, so we can really see some touches on the bottom trend line too. All right, so if we look at this a bit closer, remember this is that retest, so push, push. There's a major push, retest, and we saw another push to the upside. Didn't break this high yet. And so we would have to see what will happen after this push, if we're going to reach equal highs or continue to the downside. We have broken out of the trend line, broken, retested, and gave the continuation down, which was rejected on 106. So this is what we will be looking at now, looking at it a bit closer. All right, we can see we are at this level of 104. Let's just draw this horizontal ray. 104 has given us some reactions. Right, as we can see, resistance to support, it's broken out support, resistance, support, 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 and this was also a further confluence of the trendline break. This is what we can see here. We have seen price giving us a nice push, which could also be a flag pattern. If we take a scenario of push, retest, and might see a continuation push to the upside, looking at price levels of 105,500, 106, 106,500 to give us a equal high and seeing if we will be breaking this high. However, we could see that price has been rejected. Also following this downtrend. But remember, this is still a push to the upside. We still made a higher high, higher low. If we take this one, it hasn't been broken yet. So we would look at that as if we take the FIB tool, we'll see 0.5618 exactly. So this is my sweet spot when I use the FIB tool between 0.5 and 0.618. We can see after the push to the upside, price has descended to almost touching 104, but buyers came in. As you can see, all this buy pressure, all this bullish pressure, the demand level that gave us another push to the upside. So if we do follow that flag pattern, which is push, flag, another push to the upside, we would see dollar index, creating a new price barrier on this end. Let's just remove this fib. Let's head to the 2 hour on this one. Get a closer look. Right, so just wait. Apologies, guys, the network is a bit slow. So we do see this demand level reached, push to the upside. If we pull a trend line, always like to get the most touches when using my trend line. You can see this trend line has been respected a few times, broken out, broken back in, respected, 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 respected. So if we do see price following that trend line path, you can see another push, and if we hit this zone, we can see this level being reached, which is 104. There will be buyers waiting. We might also go past here. However, if there's good demand level and it would absorb all that supply, well, we should see price moving back to the downside. If price does break 105, can see retest, break of that trend line, and continuation up. My first level to look at would be 105,600, this level, or 105,800. So these are the two levels if price does continue toward the upside, giving the confluence of or the confirmation for this bullish pattern towards the upside. That's what we do see here. We have seen this level almost reached. Just 104,500. 104,500. So let's see what price gives us towards tomorrow. There is USD news coming up tomorrow, and we would keep an eye out for that. Let's move on to our next pair, Euro USD, which is my favorite. Euro USD and dollar index always has a inverse chart, so they look similar but would always go towards the opposite direction of each other. All right, so if we start with a daily, we're going to identify our major levels as always. Okay, so let's see. One is to 1.010,000. Let's get this one. 0.05, 1.05 thousand. Right, so after we do see a major push towards the downside, we do see retest, which if I pull the fib tool, which I'm going to do now, this level seems to be reaching looks like it might reach the sweet zone of 0.5 and 0.618. If we do get this retest respected, and if we do hold, if the bears do dominate, we can see continuation to the downside. Might look like this, break of this trend line first and then downside. We also see this major news coming up here. So this would obviously be towards this side, this play out. We do see, however, after the push towards the upside, oh yes, fib tool. Just push this from this previous high. We pull it, and just get it exactly there. Right, so as I said, sweet spot reached between 0.618 and 0.5. Let's see, after the push towards the downside, the market gave us a retest on the sweet spot, 0.618. And usually with this, price would respect the previous low or get close. So first level I would say to look for would be 1.0000 and looking down towards 0.95 thousand. These might be the two levels should we continue towards the downside. I do have a stronger bias for a bearish momentum, for more supply until at least these two levels. So that's what we would see. Let's move down to just remove this down to the low time frame. Come on, buddy. All right, so let's start pulling up this. These are the two major levels that we drew up on the zoomed out version. All right, so trend line. Let's start with a trend line. Come on, buddy. All right, so that one is very ugly. So let me just get this level drew up. As I said, always have as much touches as you can. This looks like a good level. Test, 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 almost test, broke out, retest. All right, so this is going to be an interesting spot for us to look at. Right, so we can see price broke through this major level of 1.08 thousand, gave us a retest at the trend line, and this was a confluence. Let's do this. Okay, let me just drag one down. Let's look at this level. Let's look at this level of 1.08 thousand. Always get it to the number. Exactly. I like to be clear about that. Apologies. We saw price moved towards the upside, gave us this flaggish pattern, moving towards the downside. It gave us lower highs, lower lows. However, we broke this previous low. We broke this previous lower high right here. And this is giving us a strong push to the upside. It did come after a stronger push to the downside though, but you see price has really just been struggling. Last push, broken the previous high, however, it's giving us a reverse trend, but this was towards the retest of that breakout of 1.08 thousand. So if we, apologies, if we look at that, we'd see this breakout. See this breakout, retest, continuation to at least 1.09 thousand, which is here. If price does give us a surprise, we can see 1.09,500 being reached too. So these would be the two levels, 1.09 thousand, 1.09,500. We do see that continuation towards the upside after that breakout. There are some huge sell pressure being experienced here, as we can see after that push to the upside, retest, and we are starting to see that continuation to the upside. If price does come down, let me just remove this. Still an interesting spot. Let's go to a lower time frame. All right, so I'm going to get my trend line ready this side too. As much touches as we can. See how this was respected. Touch, 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 touch. Breakout, touch, fake out, broke back in, touch, touch, touch. All right, so now we still have this zone. After the push, breakout, retest, now we're still following this trend line while we have broken out of this one. So I hope y'all just stay with me on this. We see, apologies, we see price came or is just playing around 1.08 thousand 500. If we do see this being broken, you can see this price, boop, can see this level being reached of 1.08 thousand. We see, boop, and if we do see further downhill push, we can see us getting back into this trend line, the major trend line, heading down towards this level of 7,500, which is this zone here. This would be our bearish sentiment if we continue towards the downside. But let's move on to gold, guys. Let's move on to gold. Gold has just been crazy, 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 making new highs. and just giving some beautiful patterns here. All right, so let's draw out our current path. We're on the daily. Mm, okay, boom, boom, boom. So low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So what can we expect? Of course, a higher high. Come on, man. Higher high. So if we do follow this path, let's drop our structures here. Major structures starting at okay, 2.300. Boom. 2.300. Let's do that one first. To the T, to the number, guys, always. Guys and girls, men and women. 2.400. To the T, to the T, to the T, to the T. We don't play with any miscalculations here. We play with great numbers. All right, so we see that movement push towards the upside, really getting some pressure here around this level of 2,400 and 2,300. Between those two levels, we can still see price is making higher highs and higher lows. So in that case, we should expect price to move up to the next level. Next price level of 2,500. Boom, this one here. It's just no, 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 no. So guys, leave a comment. Tell me what you thinking of the analysis so far. Tell me if you have anything different. If you see anything different in your experience, in your back testing, in your history of sharpening your skills. And tell me where you're commenting from. That would be quite interesting to know where in the world you are. Right, so we see this resistance level coming up. If the price does follow the trend, right? And let's pull this back up to, right? We see this happening. So let's say, for instance, let me just remove this whole thing, man. All right, so this is our ceiling that we would use, which would count as resistance. So moving down to the smaller time frame for our oh, my internet is so slow today. All right, so let me draw up a trend line. Let me get this sorted. So this is still a level of mine that I do think price might come back towards just to fill out this gap that we have here. So now when we pull up the trend line, get as much touches as we can. Boom. Beautiful. Touch, 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 touch. Almost touch and heading towards up. So let me just draw up a area that we would be interested in looking at. And see, apologies. So price has made a new higher high, higher lows as it's following this pattern. Price will get ready to come up to 2,400 again. And this is where things will get interesting. So what we would be looking at, price does move up towards this level, breakout, retest, continuation past 2,450 for a new high, 2,500. So this is scenario, bullish scenario, which price seems to be towards going towards, right? Price seems to be going towards this. If we do see a rejection, moving up, seeing a rejection, we can see this trend line being broken, retest, continuation to the downside. The first area of interest would be 2,300, right? And it might go up towards 2,280 or might go down towards 2,380, which is to extend this trend line. We'll see these two areas. This is where the circle is here. It's a great area of interest to see price. I would assume would come back down, maybe 2,380, 2,380. This would be first area of interest. We would be able to break this area, retest, continuation. We have to look out for 2,402 and continue towards the upside, breaking this previous higher high and coming back for a retest here in 2,400, lower, higher low, pushing back to the upside, or price coming towards this zone between 2,380 and 2,400, get some bearish momentum, which you can see has been found here, come back down, break our trend line to continue towards this price that has a, let me see, this looks like a slight imbalance here. Yes, it does. See this price here, guys. So this, we know in market gaps, well, looks like a gap. Market gaps like to be filled by the market. The imbalances need to be ironed out. So we can see this being reached sometime. Not sure when, but sometime. Guys, thank you so much, kings and queens, for watching until this far. I appreciate your support. We are just trying to get this whole trading thing under our knee, helping as much people as we can in the process. I just love trading. I just love the chart. So whenever I do some chart work, I might as well just add some commentary on it or narrate it as I go along. Just give you exactly what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing. This thing is basically live. I have not put up these levels or things beforehand. This is what I see, and this is hopefully what you see in either or direction. I give you both directions so that you can decide what best fits your analysis and what things you can take from this. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all my pages, King Street Capital, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, King Street Capital, King Street Capital FX, King Street Capital, and leave a comment down below. Share with anyone you think would be helped by a video like this and videos like this. And I'll see you on the next one. Happy trading, team.